Now, I haven't listened to last week's show, but I assume there was some stitch-up, and I find it ironic, Halsey, that, in fact, not even ironic, insulting to both your intelligence and my intelligence that you would try and throw me under the bus with your Love Comes to Town crap that we all know that you watch, and that I have absolutely no interest in.
Adam, I'll admit that I watch reality TV, so you need to come along to the sessions and go, hello everyone, my name's Adam. I watch reality TV.
If that's not a meeting I need to go to. I'll go along to a meeting that says,
Right, Bards, well, it's the second part of the show, and it's brought to you by FMD.
FMD, Grant. Please explain it.
Me dead. What happened on Saturday night?
Geez, you're getting a bit carried away, mate. This is a family show.
Well, Bards, the scores.
The guy who slagged the football team, those jobs were not for him. He turns into a real estate agent who believes in discipline.
Scores, mate, yes, fortunately not enough to too much. So 15-10-100 Port Adelaide to 13-8-86 the Hawks.
Bards, goal kickers.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
All right, we had Gunston with 3, Brewst with 3, Burgoyne 2 and Lewis 2, and singles to Birchall, Hallahan and Hartung.
And let's go for your votes, and I'm going to give 3 very shortly to the Worsterfield.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
We said we would do it, and I'm happy to put my hand up and just give 3 to the worst on the field every time we have a loss. Because the first loss I put Ruffy. Last week it was Stratton, so wait for my 3 this game.
I hope your 3 is not in my votes.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
Well, we'll see.
All right, mate. 5 votes. Jordan Lewis did have a discussion with Adam during the game that he's not A grade, but he turned it on after that and played very well. I've given 4 to Suckling, 3 to Burgoyne, 2 to Smith, and 1 to Shields.
All right, Bards. Well, I can guarantee you that my Worsterfield with 3 votes is not in your 5. Big boy McAvoy.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
Oh, come on. He's been subbed off at half time, Grant.
Injured after 5 minutes, you pillock.
No.
In the first quarter, he struggled to run out the game and get subbed off at half time.
Worst recruiting decision we've made.
Oh, jeez.
Early call, bad call. Don't rate him.
If I see that man grace number 7 in the Hawthorn jumper again, it'll be too soon.
Well, you might see it this week because Clarko reckons he's just about right to go.
If Segler isn't our number 1 ruckman, and we don't invest in that guy, we're on a downward spiral.
All right. You keep potting blokes that are injured. Yeah, we're going to give Clarko worst on votes this week for not being there, or what?
That is literally seriously firing from the cheap seats, House. That is disgraceful.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
To be fair, if you want to have a worst on this week, it might have been Rufford for bloody doing that stupid bump last week, because if he plays, I reckon we win.
All right, so
first on Bradley Hill did nothing.
Right, well, come on, Adam, you were the one making the assessment, and the thing that you said to me, once they settle, we'll be all right. So did it take too long to settle?
No, I don't think it did. Look, you said earlier we were in big trouble, and as it turned out, we didn't win the game. But I was actually really, really happy with the performance. They took a very young, inexperienced side over full of midfielders that, you know, guys like Hallahan and Hartung and young Langford who really put their hands up and had a go. under pressure. And, if you're realistic before the game, and I know that we always take the optimistic view, but if you were realistic before the game, it was pretty hard to see Hawthorn winning with the side that we were going to take to Adelaide and to get within a couple of goals. And we actually won every KPI on the night. So a lot to take out of that game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just looking at the stats in front of me now. Kicks, handballs, contested possessions, disposal efficiency, marks, clearances, tackles, frees for, inside 50s. We won them all. Just a little bit of polish.
We lost that game when Roughhead got suspended last week. If Roughhead plays, we win.
I think our forward line was a bit dysfunctional. No Roughhead, no Rioli. Gunston and Bruce still got on the end and kicked 3 each, but we were sort of having that big bloke up there, whether it be Hale, Segler, as a target. It just didn't work, and I think, like you said, Roughhead's there, we'd probably win. But to be honest, if any one of the 5 that were missing played, was probably enough for us to get us over the line as well.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
Tell you what, it's a tough ground to go and visit now when you play Port Adelaide in the atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And they're a really good footy team. They're obviously top of the ladder. They're 8-1 for a reason. But I've said it after the game, and I'll say it again now on the show for everybody to hear. That side will not beat Hawthorn again this year.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
Now, that's good. I want to get back to the atmosphere, though. I'll tell you what, Port Adelaide have done really well, and we've been calling it because we're all fans of the Premier League. They've introduced not only their theme song before the game, but they're singing a song before the game, which is the sort of tradition that you see in the Premier League.
What about the fireworks, Howsey? Do you like the fireworks? Because one of us doesn't like the fireworks.
Yeah, I don't like fireworks at home games. That's ridiculous.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
The only thing more ridiculous was the noise. Not that there was noise, but the fact that Brian Taylor couldn't get over the fact that there was noise.
He is a clown, that guy. He shouldn't be commentating.
That commentary team is shocking. Between him and Luke Darcy, bunch of 1-0 hacks. Get off my TV, really. It drive me nuts. They were no good. I was talking about how much decibels you can have at a motorbike race or something. Like, how does that relate to a game of football?
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
And I'd much rather be listening to Sandy Roberts, Peter Landy and Drew Morford even than these blokes.
Hey, I'm proposing we do a press red for Hawks One Eye View. What do you reckon?
Couldn't be any worse than the crap we listen to now. It'd be close, but it wouldn't be any worse.
We should give it a trial run and see where the Foxtel would take us.
They'd have to stick us on 7-second delay, I reckon.
Well, given the start of this show, yeah. And some of the text messages going between us, I reckon that would be very much the case.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
Now, talking Channel 7 commentary team, I mean, to what extent were they trying to make sure the Hodge was put up before the tribunal?
Oh, again, just absolutely slammed him for what was not much at all. It was lucky to even be a free kick, to be honest. Yeah, every opportunity. And these same blokes during the game, they would list our injuries and which one's the worst one to have out, blah, blah, blah. We'll have a Twitter poll on this. And then at the end of the game, when we've only lost by 2 goals, they're talking about how good Port Adelaide are because they beat the reigning Premier and how they're going to win the Premiership. Ludicrous.
Look, I'll tell you what they didn't pick up and they made no comment on, but it was quite obvious, and I made that call and a lot of other people. But did you ever see Port Adelaide get stung for holding the ball? I think I did very late in the last quarter.
Shocking. I mean, look, the umpiring overall, probably not too bad. We had more free kicks than they did, so we can't complain too much. But yeah, they seem to be a couple of different sets of rules at times.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
Some other comments that were flying between us were the quality of our backline, and I see that poor old Shuey and Drea are getting crap from people as well. A bit of structure back there and they don't do too bad, but ask them to do the job of Superman and Batman and Robin, then you end up with Robin.
Look, Shuey was fine.
That's what I reckon.
Got one goal, which was a cheap one over the top late in the game. So the only problem I have with Shuey on the night was his disposal let him down a little bit. Yep. And that's the only problem I have that you Duray. I mean, Duray put on one of the best shirt fronts you'll see in many a year and is very, very tough, but his disposal lets him down. And that's just a composure thing, and they will get there.
Yeah, I thought the same with Shuey. He panicked a bit under pressure when he had the ball, but defensively he did a very good job.
Oh, he gave Schultz a hiding.
And Schultz has been one that does get hold of us too. Even when he was at Richmond, he had a habit of getting hold of us. So defensively good, offensively, their pressure was pretty big. He's still coming back into footy after 12 months out too, so we'll give him an opportunity.
I'll tell you what Dre was good at. He's obviously perfected the art of the shirt front.
He smashed that guy.
It was good, wasn't it?
Greg the Stop Sign. Greg the Stop Sign.
Tell you who also was good in the back line, who lifted this week, because I'd had a crack at him the week before, Ben Stratton.
Yeah, had a really good game.
Yeah, much better from him. And he needed to lift too, because he had been terrible the week before. So
Greg the Stop Sign. Greg the Stop Sign.
All right, well, that's it. We didn't ask for any questions this week. We were concentrating on Clarko in our earlier show, and we can't really talk about nearest to the pin because we all went into the water. And as I said to you, Bards, 1 point is akin to me suggesting we're probably not going to win, so if I ever pick 1 point again, you'll get the drift of what my views are around the game. So we're into a nice, exciting game this week, and that is, can't wait for it, it's the Indigenous round, which is great. However, we have to wait till late on Sunday afternoon at 4:40 at the MCG to play the GWS Giants. Aren't you looking forward to that one?
is this the AFL just stuffing us around again? Like, as if it's not a hard enough game to draw a crowd to. They give us 4:40 on a Sunday to draw a crowd.
They'd be lucky to be 15,000.
Yeah, it will be poor, and I'm pretty sure I'm actually going to go. Which you see, you can buy a ticket for $15. It's a Telstra paying for everyone to go to this game.
They're not charging people $15 to go to this, are they?
They are. Now, GWS are going to be fired up after their 2 smashings.
Are they? Are they indeed?
Jeremy Cameron's going to put on an audition for us because he apparently wants to come play for Hawthorn, so everyone says. So we'll have him out there, and we'll win quite comfortably.
Greg the Stop Sign. Greg the Stop Sign.
It's a good point. That's where we go into how this game will go, what the margin will be, because it's going to be a question of whether you pick a 3-figure number or something slightly lower. Jeremy Cameron, do we think he's thinking about somewhere like Hawthorn?
Yes.
You'd be mad not to, wouldn't you?
He can play with the spuds that play up there.
Well, look, their list is not going to be too far behind Gold Coast. It'll probably take an extra year, so not next year, the year after.
Hang on, Bards. They just lost at home to Richmond by 20 goals.
Yeah, I know, but they've got a lot of big blokes. They're stockpiling bigs, which means it'll take longer for them to be good. They will be good, but having said that, do you want to be good, as good as he can be, and play in front of 8,000 people? Or do you come to Hawthorn or one of the other Melbourne clubs and be as good as he's going to be and play in front of 50,000 every week?
You'd have to cough up an awful lot to get him, though.
Well, we've got an awful lot, haven't we?
No, but we can afford to pay him, but unless he walks for free, which the Giants are not going to allow, we're going to have to cough up some serious draft picks, which we're not going to have at the end of this year, which means we're going to have to cough up a serious player.
So they'll take McAvoy.
They will want a first-round draft pick and probably in your top 5 midfielders because they need to strengthen their midfield, and they'll obviously want a first-round pick as well. So, yeah, you will have to give up quality to get him. He said that if every team got on the same page and refused to give quality, and then he can walk the year after, it'll be interesting. But Hawthorn are very fair too. They don't like to burn bridges, so they wouldn't expect him for nothing.
Look, the other thing too is, why would he come back? Is he coming back for cash, or is he coming back to play for a more successful club or to get greater opportunity? If he's coming back for cash, then I don't think we will offer him the sort of cash that other clubs might be prepared, given our pay structure. And I think that's something that people have got to realise, that when they're throwing names around like Fife, that if the number they want doesn't fit with our pay structure, then Hawthorn won't take them. It's something that they've been very strict about over the last 5-6 years to get some real structure back into the team. So, so for every name that's bandied around, you just got to think, what is the legitimate price that we're going to pay? And we saw that a few years back when O'Keefe, he wanted a lot more than we assessed that he was worth, and that's why we didn't take him. So it'll be interesting if Cameron really is in play and really wants to come to Hawthorn, what reasons would he want to come?
The sort of money they're talking, 800, 900 grand a year, in my view at least, and you guys may disagree with me, I think a guy like Cameron would be a luxury. I would rather than throw the bank at somebody like a Fife, in my view. I just think where we're going to be deficient over the next 3 or 4 years is when the guys like Mitchell and Hodge and certainly Sewell are moved on, and we're just going to be a gun midfielder short over the next 3 or 4 years.
Fair enough.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
All right. Well, who will they trial, Bards? Woodward's name's coming up. You put this one up last week. Do you think they'll give him a go?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the Herald Sun ran with it first, and then it was mentioned on the Hawks Facebook page today with a little article or link to the Box Hill Met report. So every chance they might give him a run. Be interesting to see. I guess it's whatever Brendan wants to do.
Adam, would you give Cheney a run?
Look, I don't necessarily think there's going to be room for Cheney in the side this week, just because I don't think we're going to be losing a backman. I'd be inclined to give O'Brien a game.
Obviously, Ruffy comes in. If you assume that McAvoy doesn't play, you think Ruffy comes in for McAvoy and Segler and Hale look after the rucks, then you're working out what you're doing after that, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a question whether Simpkin plays or not, but he played a good game on the weekend, so I can't see them dropping him either.
Yeah, they might give one of the younger blokes a rest again to give another one a game. We'll see.
Yeah, the question, do you run Hartung and Hallahan to give them more run, or do you swap someone in? Some tough questions to be asked at the selection table this weekend.
I think Langford might be the one that they may just give a rest.
No one to tag, Adam?
No. Callum Ward's their best midfielder. Treloar's a good player, but really...
It's not going to make a difference, is it?
No.
Thing about that team, it's got potential, but not this year.
Yep, a couple of years away at least.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
Well, I've given you a bit of thinking time. It's time for nearest to the pin. Bards.
4.
115.
Adam?
4.
207. Oh, you think I'm joking? You think I'm joking, do you? Okay.
Is this where Ruffy kicks 11?
You think I'm joking? If Jack Rewald can kick 11, provided the weather is fine and it's a sleek track, I would think Hawthorn could kick well in excess of 30 goals, and I don't see this mob kicking more than about 4.
You're going to need a fast 2.
There will come a day, my friends, where all hell will rain down on the AFL, and it will be dished out by the Hawthorn Football Club, and it will be this Sunday, and it will be Armageddon at the MCG.
Alright, well, I'm going something nice and safe.
4.
And 70 points.
Boring.
Don't go on a limb, will you?
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
Now, we've had a lot of injuries, and I put it down to there's a missing ingredient to this show that's causing that. And so, Adam, we need to give Bard some homework, because about now we would have had a segment called From the Backline. And you recall... last year we got Bards to do From the Backline, and it was players that, Bards that played no more than 20 games or something like that?
Something ridiculous like that, yes.
Alright, Adam, got thoughts about From the Backline this time?
Players we got from other clubs that turned out to be better players when they came to Hawthorn.
Ooh, okay. Sounds like a challenge.
Just don't pick McAvoy.
I think I've got the ruck covered.
Well, now that's going to be interesting. I look forward to that, because if it's who I'm thinking you're going to select, it's actually a reasonable point of discussion.
That's right.
Greg the stop sign. Greg the stop sign.
Alright, well on that note, we'll see you in the seats with about 3 other people. Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!